Normally, Kalyani, you're here talking about banking scams over the festive season and what we should be doing as CEO of Sabric. But today, as somebody who's fighting this, tell us about your health. Tell us what's happening with you at the moment.
Well, Yuveka, about 3 months ago, just a little over 3 months ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, adenocarcinoma. It's the less aggressive type of cancer. I had been sick with flu and bronchitis for over 3 months. I was still at work and still carrying on, but, you know, coughing terribly all the time. And in July, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, it got to a point where it was now diagnosed. I went into hospital. They picked up that this is what the position was. And of course, after further tests and PET scans, which are an amazing scan, they picked up that the cancer is in both the lungs. Some are tumors as well on the right side, a little worse than the other. It's spread into my sternum, to the ribs, and to the spine. And of course, it was an absolute shock. And I think what happens is that as a person, I certainly didn't expect to hear that. You know, my dad also had lung cancer and died 4 years ago.
4 years ago,
yes. Also a non-smoker. But I think for me I was very quiet and very calm about it, and I think that sort of surprised a lot of people later when they spoke to me about it.
And very surprising because, I mean, from what I know of you, and we have people in common, you're a very healthy person. You're active.
Yes.
This must have been quite do you ask yourself, well, where did this come from?
Well, look, you know, I've started to do a little bit of research, and then one of the things I've also decided, and I've said to my doctor, because I have an amazing team of doctors looking after me. My oncologist is amazing. I have a physiotherapist, a nutritionist, a pulmonologist. So I'm fortunate to have access to good medication and medical assistance. But, you know, there's so many things, and I've decided that I'm not going to ask why me or feel sorry for myself in any way. I know that I'm sick. I know that it's cancer. There's no cure for cancer, and that people go into remission. For me, the issue is, and I suppose it's just how I always am, if there's a situation, find a solution and work towards it. And I didn't feel that I should deal with this any differently. You know, the solution is that there is treatment, there's hope, and I've also made a conscious decision to go with the medical assistance. I'm not doing alternate. I'm not saying that it won't help. I know a number of people, out of the goodness of their heart and out of caring, have made suggestions, but I've decided, I even promised my family I'm not going to Google. Very difficult not to do it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a position that I've taken. I'm energetic.
I see that.
I carry on as
normal. I mean, for stage 4,
so
I'd expect you to be laid up in hospital somewhere, but look at you. I mean, you're out and about, but have you noticed little changes? What are the changes you've noticed in your day-to-day?
Well, look, I definitely had to make changes. I had to make changes in my lifestyle in the sense that I take it a little easier than I normally do. I'm sort of sleeping a little bit better. I've had to make some sensible decisions. I've decided that I need to take care of myself. The doctors will do their bit. I've got to do my part, and I am really serious about playing my part as well. So I've never been one for a lot of exercise, and I suppose I shouldn't be saying it in the public space, but that was a fact. So I've started now to do a little bit things that I'm allowed to do. I do my breathing exercises without compromise. I do a little bit more in terms of walking, nothing over strenuous. I'm trying to eat properly. I eat 3 meals. Of course, I say that I will do that as the best I can. Unfortunately, I still like sweet things, and I'm told by my doctors that sugar doesn't actually increase the cancer or make it grow. It's sort of just a perception that people have, but you should be balanced and sensible in how you eat. I'm also trying to live as normally as I can, and I'm able to, you know, and I've always had that positive attitude, and I really am not going to waste a single moment of my life being miserable, and it's worked for me.
So
I mean, for 3 months.
And you're in the middle of treatment, and I mean,
I've started. I had 1 lot of chemo, intravenous chemo, but at that point, all the results weren't in. Then the final marker results came in. My doctor then was able to finalize the treatment plan. I'm now on, you know, medical science is so advanced now, and even cancer treatment and how it's dealt with. I'm now no longer on a drip chemo. I'm on daily medication. I've got to take it regularly, on time, every day. I do have some side effects and nothing strenuous. And I have a drip once a month to strengthen my bones.
And very very, very quickly, Kalyani, if you can, in a few seconds, some advice to people not to ignore certain signs.
Absolutely. I think that if you're concerned about anything, rather go in earlier and get it checked out. But once you do get a diagnosis, try not to let it affect you to the extent that you're not going to help yourself get better. And I think it's really important that, you know, you think about the people around you as well, because their lives change. And I think we have a choice. We know that we're sick, but do we have to ask ourselves a question? Do you actually feel sick? It's one thing knowing it, but how do you feel? And respond accordingly, and be kind to yourself. Take help when you need it, and that kind of thing.
And take the break. Well, wonderful. Well, you certainly are a tough cookie. Kalyani Pillay, showing that cancer, what it's all about, sharing her story of living with cancer. Thank you very much, and we wish you all the luck with your treatment going forward as well.